Hello, my loves. I'm Pia. I'm an astrologer and manifestation coach. And on this channel, I am combining the art of astrology with my passion for manifestation. I am in the manifestation game for a while now, and it took me a very long time to get to the place where I am now, which feels much more effortless and much more easy to manifest things into my reality. I have to say that obviously I'm not perfect. I'm not the perfect manifester. I don't know everything, but I just want to give you some of my experiences, some of my own struggles in order to help you understand manifestation better and apply it to your own life. So take what you want, leave what you don't want, and just, my intention with this here is to make manifestation fun again and let go of the pressure, let go of the, effort that I believe many of us have been put into manifestation because we are coming from a society that is very much conditioned to think that we only deserve good things when we either work really, really hard for them or when we struggle a lot. And this is not what I stand for. I want my life to be exciting. I want my life to feel full of magic and full of, ease. And of course, there are things like there are challenges happening in my life. And of course, life is not going always our ways, but the ease comes from the attitude, from the perspective that you have on those challenges and how you actually work with them, so that you can feel more ease in your life and then you feel that your life is truly magical. So that's what I am really standing for, what my intention is with this channel here. Saying all of that, today we are going into what we can do when doubts are creeping in, when things might not go the way we wanted, seemingly, because obviously, like, if you want something, if you desire something, and you are persisting in your desire, my belief is that the universe is always going to deliver it. But how that is going to happen, in what way this is going to happen, is totally not under your control. And that's what so often is so challenging for so many, including me, that we don't have the control. We know what we desire, we know what we want, but we don't have to control how it is going to work its way to us. And the more we can be relaxed in that process, the more we trust in our wish fulfilled, the more we trust in ourselves, knowing that if I desire something, that desire is meant to be for me. The more we can really trust in that and release control in terms of how we need to get there, we have a much easier, a much more exciting journey. But of course, we are human, and so often we feel like we need to control. We are conditioned to control. So often we give what's happening right now in our 3D reality much more importance than what we believe is true for ourselves. And this is exactly what I want to talk about today. How we can actually deal with the doubts that are coming up during the process, why they are coming up, and how to work with them in order to make it more easeful, more smooth for you. So yeah. So I wanted to start off this video by sharing something personal because I think it might help you to understand even better what I am trying to say with this. So I am, since a few months, I'm living in Munich and I'm living in the most beautiful flat. I actually manifested that flat within 2 days. I reached out to a friend. She shared it on her Instagram that I am searching for a place. And then one of her friends was reaching out to me. And within, as I said, 48 hours, I was standing in this flat. It was perfect, exactly what I was searching for. The energy is amazing. I think I haven't been in such a beautiful energy flat since a very long time, and I really loved it. So it was perfect. And it was actually never meant to be really like long term, although there were some thoughts of my roommate. She wanted to have somebody in there for maybe long term, but she was never sure about it. So we were talking a bit about it back and forth. But yesterday, actually, she's in Bali at the moment. Yesterday, she sent me a message that she's not going to rent out the room for longer. She doesn't want to have somebody in there for long term because she feels like she really needs her own space, especially because she's working a lot and she just needs the downtime. Anyways, I kind of was, obviously, I didn't expect it to come yesterday, but there was already I already felt like maybe the time in this flat is coming to an end soon. And obviously, I was not super excited about the message because as I said, I love this flat. I really like it. But at the same time, I have had the feeling that, as I said, that my time here is coming to an end and there's maybe something that even fits better to my current life circumstances. So I was surprised about it, but I was not shocked about it or anything. And I was feeling a little bit insecure about it. But what I always do in these moments, and I think that's why manifestation has become way easier for me, is that I always see those seemingly, steps back in a way, or these seemingly negative, undesired events as a blessing in disguise. So I always believe that if something comes to an end, if something is happening in the outside world that seems to be negative in that moment, I always want to believe, and I believe that it's a blessing in disguise, meaning that because this is happening, something better can come into my life. So it's almost an upgrade. Let's say I'm ready for an upgrade now, not necessarily in the sense that that I'm getting a much better flat, but there's something that, and maybe I do, but there's something that is just better for me with my current life circumstances is waiting for me. And that's why this has to come to an end. And if we are looking on the negative events that are happening in our lives from that perspective, it's so much easier for us to first accept what's going on, and then to relax into a state of trust. And from that trust, we can, maybe take the inspired action that is needed to actually create a much better situation out of that. Or we can be relaxed and not, freak out, and maybe there's something, arranging, maybe the universe is arranging something behind the scenes that you cannot see yet, and you need to be in a receiving state to be able to see it. whatever it is, if we are able to, accept what's happening and trust in the moment, it's much easier for us to change the situation to the better for us. And I always look at it like my higher self is aware of everything that's happening. My higher self already knows the future I'm going to be in, and it knows what's best for me. And I trust that all of the circumstances that are currently happening are for my highest good. And when I'm coming from that feeling, when you're thinking of, how would you feel if you would know that this current circumstance, this undesired event that's happening at the moment, is actually leading you to an even better future for yourself? How would you feel right now when you know for sure that is true, when you are certain that this is true? And I believe anybody of you knows, when you are thinking of your past, there were always probably situations in the moment you didn't like them, but when you had when you were looking back at them, you actually knew why they needed to happen. You actually knew that they were a blessing in disguise. You knew that from that moment, everything actually turned out to be even better than before. We all know these moments. And if we can look at every circumstance, every situation in our lives from that perspective, it's so much easier for us to trust and to, get relaxed more with our manifestations. So for me right now, I am seeing this situation as an upgrade, an up level. I know that something is coming into my reality that is even better for myself. And I am almost excited about it. Obviously, in the moment when you are in the uncertainty and you're thinking of all the things you have to do. Trust me, I don't believe that there's so much to do, because I have seen myself with how less of an effort I can manifest the best things. But in our human minds, we often see this like whole, mountain of things to do now in order to get to a better place. And we feel sometimes burdened with that. But if I am thinking, if I'm feeling into that perspective of my higher self, and I'm connecting with that higher knowing that everything is going to work out for me even better from now on, I can feel excitement. And I believe that being in that state and, focusing our attention on that state of excitement can lead to so many blessings. So that's one thing that I wanted to mention that I believe can be very helpful, especially when you are manifesting something and things are not going your way. I was not even manifesting a flat. I was actually very happy in this flat. So let's say you are actively manifesting something. You desire a beautiful flat in Munich. You have the experience of almost getting a beautiful flat that looks exactly like the one you envisioned, and you don't end up getting it. Sometimes doubts can creep in of, oh, obviously manifestation doesn't work. Manifestation doesn't work for me. Maybe I'm not deserving of this kind of flat. It's so clear, most of the people are like thinking, of course it didn't work out for me. Don't let that part control your reality. Those parts are all little children, literally old past versions of yourself that felt like they didn't deserve what they desire, that felt like, or they feel like they life is not going to work out for them. And we all have those parts within us because we are all programmed in that way. When we are raised in a society that believes that, good things come only from hard work, or good things only come to the people that deserve it, we have this mindset of undeservingness in our society. There's a lot of guilt hidden and a lot of like unresolved, emotions that then come out as those thoughts. So they're not really your thoughts. They are just a result of past generational programming that we now have to let go of step by step. And it's not happening overnight. But the more you can be in that state of, I deserve the best, the more you can be in that state of, things come easy to me, no matter what's happening, the more the attention you give to this part is going to grow. When those old beliefs are coming up, and I know it from myself, it's not easy to deal with those doubts because they seem so true, they seem so real. But what's the best way to deal with them is looking at them from the perspective of a mother soothing their child. I really see my higher self as the mother of my human self. And it's almost like the mother can see so much more than the child. And it, tells the child that it's going to be okay no matter what. That even though, things might not seem turning out the way you want it to be, it's going to be okay in the end. You're going to have whatever you desire. And the more we can send those parts love, the more we can, and be empathetic with those parts, I believe the faster they are dissolving. So I don't want you to push them away, because I believe that what we resist persists. We only make them stronger. Have you ever tried to get rid of something that you didn't like? It just becomes like a lot of, like, the energy behind getting rid of something that you don't like is force. And as I said in the beginning of this video, I want the manifestation process to be fun, exciting. Let's make it smooth. Let's make it easy. So the more we can process those parts, the more we can give them love, the easier it is to let them go, I believe. And I've seen it in my reality. I've seen it in my experience, that the more compassionate I was with myself in those moments, the easier it was. And so often I hear manifestation coaches talk about those parts and say, just ignore them, just don't give your attention to them, because obviously what you give attention to grows. But if you give it attention from a place of knowingness that this is not really true, but you're still like loving those parts of yourself, you're still empathetic with those parts. Maybe you write down the thoughts that you are feeling, that the thoughts that you're thinking. By accepting those thoughts, by accepting those feelings that come with those thoughts, they actually release themselves. And it's much, much easier then to shift to this new place of, oh, actually, I know everything is going to work out for me. Oh, actually, I know that my desires are for me, and that everything that I desire is already desiring me. So that is something that we have to navigate right now. And I've said that to one of my clients the other day. We were talking about something, and I said to her, you know, there's nothing you can do wrong in this moment. And I also have to say that to me, because I also come from this place sometimes that I'm thinking I'm doing things wrong. Oh my God, I'm doing things wrong. But what we have to understand is we're not able to do things wrong. You know, we are now in this process of training our minds, training our self to become the creators of our own life. You know, understanding the potential of what we are actually meant to do here on this planet. We are just in this process where we are coming from this consciousness of everything is hard, nothing is working out for me, to the place of love, knowing that everything is going to work out for you, knowing that you came here as a conscious creator to create your reality. Obviously, this in-between place of mastering the manifestation process has to come with some challenges. You know, if you are trying to learn to swim and somebody, you know, just throws you in the pool and then tells you, I already told you how to swim. You know, I already told you twice how to swim. You know, you wouldn't expect the other person to know how to swim. It's a process. You need to do it many, many times. You need to go into the water again, to experience it again, to try it out. And you get better and better with it. But obviously, those doubts are a necessary part in order to understand the whole magic of the manifestation process and what and how we can actually create our reality. So it's never about you doing anything wrong. It's all about you learning how to become the master of your reality. So I hope that this video was helpful. I really loved doing this video because it's just such a big thing, you know, having these doubts when we are manifesting. It can sometimes really throw us off. It can sometimes really, you know, make us believe that this whole manifestation thing is not true. But let me tell you, especially the last year, I have seen so many of my manifestations really come true in the most incredible ways, sometimes so specifically in the way I was actually I was actually visualizing them, that it was even for me a surprise. And I want you to really have fun with this process, because we are not here to, you know, make this manifestation thing another thing that we have to work really hard on. We want this thing to make our lives way more easy and way more effortless and way more magic and fun. So I hope this video was helping helping you to do that. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave me a comment if you liked it, or reach out to me if you need some support in your own manifestation process. I am giving coachings, one-on-one coachings, and I really love to work with you. So if you're seeing that, if you feel called to work with me, please reach out. And I think without further ado, I would say let's wrap it up, and I see you in my next video. Bye, loves.